started with a debate.
It is a special day today to the glory of the Almighty God that we are all exceedingly blessed to be present on this edition of Abia gubernatorial.
A statement of commitment to the social contract with the people.
This debate promises to leverage us with the opportunity to meet our distinguished candidates.
Then, the real governance. Abia's founding fathers envisage a state that will guarantee all-round developmental and sustainable future for generations. But how far have we fared in the journey? In 21 years of unbroken democratic experience, join the Abia debate team on Friday, June 12th, Democracy Day, as we review the Abia project and the way forward. The interaction will be aired live on partner radio stations. Flow 94.9 FM, Vision Africa Radio 104.1 FM, Real 99.1 FM, Buzz 89.7 FM, and also AF News and Abia Pulse News Online.
All right, we have Honorable Uko Nkole joining us on this big occasion. Glad to have you join us this on the Abia project. Honorable.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
Honorable.
Good afternoon, beautiful lady. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Thank you very much for finding time to join us on this day, Democracy Day, and Nigeria at 21. Well, in democracy anyway. So we'd like to find out from you, it's been 21 years of democracy in Nigeria, uninterrupted democracy in Nigeria and in Abia State. What is your view of the journey so far? What do you make out of the journey so far for Abia State in 21 years of uninterrupted democracy?
Well, thank you for having me. Good afternoon, Abians, and good afternoon, listeners. For me, it's been good. 21 years of unbroken democratic practice in Nigeria is a welcome development. Yes, one can comfortably say we're not yet at the level, one I expect democracy to be, but democracy is always the better form of any governance than what we used to have in the past. So far, so good. Bringing that, I just said we have started, and the important thing is that the present administration overview has started very well and laying a lot of intrinsic foundations that in the next, if we sustain in the next 10 years, I know Abia will be top in terms of the infrastructure development. So we thank God that we have started, and we are starting very, very well. So far, so good, especially with the present administration.
Okay, over time, we hear about federal lawmakers not being in good terms with the state government, but in Abia State, I think the situation has been quite different. So, we would want to know how far or how much you've collaborated with the state government to attract federal presence, as in projects and all whatnot. How have you collaborated with the government here in the state to attract federal presence to the state?
Yeah, basically, as your assertion somehow is true, but up to a point, at least from, though I wasn't in the 6th and 7th Assembly, where we then had Governor T.A. Oji as the governor. Then there was a good harmony that existed between the federal lawmakers and the state. Also, that extrapolated into 2015, which fortunately I was part of its assembly, and by the special grace of Almighty God, I'm also part and parcel of 9th Assembly, and that harmony has also existed. It's basically a lawmaker, be it in the federal or the state lawmaker. Lawmaker is a lawmaker. Our constitutional responsibility, our statutory responsibility lies in three key fundamentals, which is one, oversight. The next is bills and motions, and lawmaking. Now, in lawmaking, that is where you have bills, appropriations coming in, oversight functions, and etc., etc. Now, the basic two that the legislator lacking to attract infrastructural development to the state. Like in Abia, taking for instance, is basically in terms of money bills, which is primarily the executive responsibility to send in money bills, which ordinarily is the appropriation bill. So, in the process of that, and that is one thing I want to like to make clear to everybody, it's a issue of budget pageant, which resurfaced in the history of political appropriation act in Nigeria. There's nothing like budget pageant. The responsibility of every lawmaker is to make laws. An appropriation bill, it comes in as a bill, and bill is also a process that if it passes through the legislative scrutiny, it becomes an act. Like in the United States of America, where we borrowed our kind of presidential system of government, once the president steps into the chamber, the appropriation chamber, which is the House of Representatives, that has the power of the purse, once it comes to dropping that bill, there's this balance we hear about that is dead on arrival. Now, as the president steps in, that bill is dead on arrival. He drops it, addresses the congressmen, and leaves. Now, what gives back life to that document is when the Congress, the legislative arm, has gone through it using all known legislative mechanisms. Because executive bills, like the budgeting system, we have 36 states, plus city, which is 37. I have 36 ministers, minimal, as enshrined in the Constitution. Now, let's take instance, for a Minister of Work. A Minister of Work would not know the pressing or the key economic routes that requires urgent intervention. Now, their own system of budgeting is top to the bottom approach, which does not solve the problem. Now, the essence of bringing budget is to make sure that the needs of the grassroots are reflected, so that in that process, exercising our powers of lawmaking, we can now add, subtract, to projects that will really touch the lives of the people. So in doing that, remember that most of all these projects are domiciled in the state. Like in my federal constituency, any project I attract belongs to the federal constituency, and the federal constituency is a component of the state, likewise the senatorial zone. So having laid this background, with that achieved, if as a lawmaker, you're able to lobby your colleagues and the leadership of the National Assembly to get one or two projects, be it infrastructure, be it human capital, development or empowerment. So it becomes an added advantage to such constituencies and also to that part of the state. So that is how, that is the process that legislators latch on to make sure they get things done for their state. And that is exactly, for me, what I'm doing. I can actually read out what I'm aiming to do using that process. I'll be able to attract the construction of a water scheme, in Uko Nkole, which is my primary constituency. I'm also doing a water scheme in Abia that will service the whole of Abia. I also attracted the integration of water in Abia, which has been moribund for over 20 years. I've been able to do a water borehole at Aruchukwu. I've done so in Amove. I've also done in Afia. I've also done that in Ezekwu and Ekelogo, which are all in Evermore Afia. The Similelu, which is a major water scheme, that services Elu to Amebu, down that axis, if you are very conversant with that. I've been able to attract the replacement of the high lift pump that brings out the water, for reticulation. But the issue with that is that we still need to do, attract rehabilitation of the pipes, so that there won't be a backflow, so that once you lift water, sent to the reservoir, it can actually go on and on. So I've done close to 10 water schemes. I've done bridges in Ayim, which is a link that takes us to Akwa Ibom from Atanabam. I've also done a bridge at Dimabam. Also, there's this Babam bridge, which was a very, very eyesore, to the state, because that bridge collapsed around 2014 when I was not even a House of Representatives member. But today, that bridge is near completion, which I have tried to replace, the belly bridge to a concrete, bridge, which all the pilings have been done. I've also been able to do palliative repairs on the Murray Bridge. They improved the bridge, which we had issues because the integrity of that bridge is so bad that if you had allowed a contractor to continue work on that, it will constitute a public safety hazard. So, on that note, I was able to get them to subject it to integrity test, mid-camera test, and once that is conducted, we'll take it off from there.
Okay.
I've also done a lot of
Honorable. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. We know you've done quite a lot in your constituency. That is Arochukwu Nhafia Federal Constituency. But because you're a federal lawmaker, I'd like you to assess Nigeria in 21 years. How far have we gone? How well have we done? Please, make it brief, please.
Yeah, for me, so far, like I said, so good. But that is not to say that we have gotten all, to our destination. You see, for me, the major fundamental that we need to correct is the issue of the Constitution. We need to restructure the Constitution. Just take, for example, our Constitution does not guarantee in a federal system of government the required equity distribution of resources. And money is a life wire. All these things we'll talk about. Money is a life wire of every organization. If a state, if a governor cannot have money, cannot access the equal funds that he requires, there is a problem. I'll give you one instance. I know of a road project alone in the Lagos state, in the southwest, that is worth of 150 billion. What is the budget of Abia state in a particular year? Likewise, others in another counterpart. But down in the southeast, you don't have that capacity. And all these things, are issues because of the skewed, people latch on the skewed constitutional loopholes, to perpetrate that kind of injustice. Look at today, the House of Representatives, which I feel so sad. We are borrowing to the tune of 22.7 billion US dollars, not naira, for several projects. As I speak to you today, which is very, very sad, Southeast got zero allocation from that money. And in terms of payment, we also expected to contribute. Northwest got about 6.37 billion. Northeast got about 3 billion US dollars. North Central got about 6.63 billion.
All right.
Southwest is getting about 200.
Honorable, I would like you to wrap up your thoughts quickly so that we can get in touch with other stakeholders.
Until that issue of restructuring, because as it stands now, there are some certain, there's what we call concurrent and exclusive list. There are some certain items that are not on the concurrent list. Let's take, for instance, the issue of railways. If a governor cannot on his own build a rail link that can link his state to the other state for mass movement, what have you achieved? So until all these things are unbundled, I don't think we have done so well. So the issue of restructuring of the Constitution becomes key, and that is the only way. That is what can guarantee, prosperity, even prosperity, and also the integrity of federalism is embedded in the process of having a true federal state.
All right. Honorable Uko Nkole, member representing Arochukwu Nhafia in the Federal House of Representatives. Thank you very much for joining on the Abia project.
Thank you.
It all started with a debate.
This is a special day today to the glory of the Almighty God that we are all exceedingly blessed to be present on this edition of Abia gubernatorial.
A statement of commitment to the social contract with the people.
This debate promises to leverage us with the opportunity to meet our distinguished candidates.
Then, the real governance. Abia's founding fathers envisage a state that will guarantee all-round developmental and sustainable future for generations. But how far have we fared in the journey in 21 years of unbroken democratic experience? Join the Abia debate team on Friday, June 12th, Democracy Day, as we review the Abia project and the way forward. The interaction will be aired live on partner radio stations. Flow 94.9 FM, Vision Africa Radio 104.1 FM, Real 99.1 FM, Buzz 89.7 FM, and also AF News and Abia Pulse News Online